Guys, how are you? I hope you're well. I'm just editing the video for tonight in the coffee shop, and I've realized I don't think I actually made an intro to the video at all. This video is just like a combination of what happened in the week, a few little bits here and there, and a talk I did. We are like 6 weeks away from the Swirl Now. First and foremost, I want to show you this new, very exciting thing for us to be able to communicate with each other. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've reached the Corco phone. Please leave your message after the tone, and we will probably use it in a podcast or a vlog or something like that. So tell us something important to you. Tell us something that matters, something you're angry about, something you're happy about, something about life, or something that relates to a question that you've seen me ask in Instagram Live or something similar. All right, take care of yourselves and look after each other. Oh, mate, this is a blast from the past. Right, this is the original 3310. Literally nothing on it other than the all-important Snake 2. Ah, yes. That is slow. Basically, I've got the 3310 for administrating it, but check this out. You can ring my car directly. I hope this works. Please wait. Searching for GSM network. Yes! I think it's going to be such a fun way to interact with you guys. Like either to call in, if I do a Facebook Live or Instagram Live, and to have a chat with you, or to leave voicemails for things like podcasts and things like that. The phone number is, if you want to ring at any time, 07565 130 801. That number again, 07565 130 801. If you're a brand or a collaborator as well and you want to leave a voicemail, even if you've got questions about the Swirl, just make sure you leave us your email address because we won't respond on the voicemail. So please know that if you leave a voicemail or a text message, it will be used in public. It's mid-September and that means it's Freshers Week, and I'm here, down here for the first time at the University of Sussex, and it's like they built a university in a forest. It's an amazing, I've never been to like a woodland campus before. It's a bit like an American campus, but I'm here to speak with the early learning teachers in their first week. This morning I met with one of the governors of the NHS Trust Partnership Sussex, trying to think about how to map the theory of intelligence to health, and now we're here trying to figure out how to map it to education. So I'm going to try and film the lecture and let you guys see it.
Whenever I'm lost and all of my body.
The concept that we currently have of intelligence is like painted on a canvas like this. It's focused on cognitive capacity and function. It's focused on just the mind. But as of yet, we haven't figured out how to make a mind work separate from a body. In the future, we might be able to upload minds or whatever. Until that point, we need mind-body together, and actually what we care about and what I hope you will care about is the whole person. Can you hold that for a second? Good luck. If we think about this as the full human, and this as the mind and nervous system that sits inside that human, this is the environment around the human. Stuff comes into the person through the ears, through the eyes, through the senses, goes into the brain, into the processor, and then kind of comes out the other side at some point when we express, when we write things down, when we talk, etc. Intelligence kind of comes as a flow that goes all the way through and comes out the other side. And the best way to actually study it would be to try to observe the whole process and the whole links between the different steps. Because I hope that in the future, healthcare professionals and education professionals like you guys will be able to work together along with the parents and everybody else that cares about these kids to think about fundamentally how to get them to flow well without frustration, to flourish in an unknown environment. And Aristotle coined this word eudaimonia, which means human flourishing. And that hopefully is the point. That's the point of why you're here, is to help kids to flourish in a world that we don't know what it's going to look like. So how long do we have remaining? 5 minutes?
Yeah. Is that all right, everybody? Yeah.
Cool.
I have to leave, so can I quickly just say something?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for everything you said has been very insightful. really, really, well, thoughts are really nice. I feel really inspired by you, and thank you for blessing me with your talk today. And yeah, thank you.
No, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions about anything I have or haven't talked about? Anything from YouTube to the theories we're discussing to what problems you think you might face? We can just talk about what's on your mind if you want. I'll go for it.
What was your first business?
My first business, when I was 19, my plan was to work for 6 months, save some money and go to Brazil. I just loved the idea of Brazil. And I worked for a guy who managed ads on the right-hand side of Google, the sponsored links, which no one ever thinks they click on, but it makes Google $150 billion a year, so someone does. And it was before social media. I sound like such a grandpa these days, but yeah, so that was the main way to advertise online, was through Google, and I worked for him for 6 months. He kind of fired me. I'm actually going to be his best man at the end of this year. We've stayed friends, but he didn't like the way I worked, or I didn't like the way he worked, either way. And so then I went back home to my parents' house and borrowed a pixelated laptop off my mate and dialed, do you even know 141? Do you know about that? Yeah? Okay. I don't even know if that's a thing people use anymore, but just used my mum's home phone and just dialed 141 so that it was anonymous, so people couldn't, and I just started calling businesses and trying to manage their ads for them. And so in the end we did it for 150 companies and managed I think it was about 5 million a year of ad spend. And then I got lucky enough it was just like the boom, like how YouTube was booming, it's let's say 1 or 2 years ago, it's just blowing up, people getting subscribers, getting money through the door like no tomorrow. It was like that with original search engines, and I just got lucky that somebody wanted to buy it and buy a number of businesses and put them all together, and it was just right place, right time, and I didn't make $1 million, but I made 300 grand, which was enough to pay off my half of my house that I owned with my mate. And what I did was built a log cabin in the garden, and I've lived in that ever since. So even before I went to the woods, I had a living room, bedroom, bathroom, hot tub, fire pit, and then just rented the house to my mates. I still have four mates living in my house. What is that? From my perspective, this obviously is the first time I've tried to articulate 3 years worth of work into one simple metaphor. So any feedback, good, bad or ugly, that you have for me about how I've communicated my idea specifically, I would really welcome that. So my email address is .com. It's really simple, but don't put it on the internet, please. And yeah, if you would be willing to just drop me a line with any thoughts, good, bad or ugly, about how I explain this specifically to you, I'd really appreciate that for my own learning.
Can I just say thank you very much for a very personal insight. It was really interesting to hear what you had to say. Those particular concepts that you have explored with us today actually fit beautifully into the learning journey that we're going to be going on together. We will to draw back on what you've said over the years, particularly the sort of imagination, curiosity, idea of exploration, and then that learn, create and reflect is actually where the whole program is set up. So we'll have lots of questions.
That's lucky.
and we didn't tell you that.
No,
so
indeed.
That's really good. Thank you very much.
Good. All right, well, thanks very much for having me.
Centered somewhere a bit better than that.
Well, it was the other way up.
Wait, what's that one?
It was that way. You can just pretend it was a child that painted it.
Yeah, this was actually painted by Davies.
So this is going to live in Christina's office. For me, this is representative of the idea living inside the institutions of life rather than just in my hut. So I'm pleased to leave it here.
I think it's a good reminder to the students too, because I think it's nice to come back and be like, remember that?
Do you remember that talk?
Yeah.
That nutter who came in and...
Or in year 3, before they graduate,
Ah.
that's one of the other things, is to come back and say, do you remember when you were sitting in that room, having that discussion?
Yes.
What were we talking about? How far have we come? What have we done?
Wow, that's cool. That's great.
Yeah.
So day one on the first day of their course of 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully I can kind of come on the ride with you.
Yeah.
Right, so I just finished my first talk to teachers, and I'm kind of like building a group of people that are interested in looking at humans and how humans flourish differently through the lens of thinking about intelligence differently. I think it went well. I'd love you guys to look at it and tell me what you think of it. I will upload it separately and put a link in the description here. But yeah, massive thank you to Dr. Christina Kugel for taking the risk really to have me come in and speak to the students. I was actually so surprised and impressed at one, how responsive the teachers are, or training teachers are, and two, how easy it was to map the concept to the practical world of education. It wasn't hard to get, it wasn't square peg circle hole trying to get this conceptual theory to fit into a practical environment, and people seem to really understand it, which gives me a lot of hope that it will be used and that I'll actually enjoy working with teachers and people in the education and healthcare field. I wrote a poem the other day. Well, firstly, let me show you this clip. I'm here with Andy on a little boat in the middle of the Thames, and I'm going to be sleeping here al fresco in my sleeping bag. I can't think of anywhere else in London you could be this quiet, this far away from anyone. It's only the woods and the water where you get experiences like this. At 5 in the morning, I woke up on that boat and I wrote this poem. It's the only poem I've ever written that I can remember because it's so short. And the poem says, love when you can't, love where it hurts, love in death, love in the morning, love over everything. Love is viral, love is final, for love lives on the wings of forever. And I wrote it because I woke up having some weird dreams that all felt quite deathy. And I thought, I'm not having it. So what overcomes death? Love. Love is the only thing that transcends death. Everything else is temporary, but love somehow, don't ask me how, but somehow transcends and lives forever in whatever form. So there we go, there's my little poem. The Swirl is filling up quickly. We've got a full team now at each of the venues of about 10 creators, performers, makers. So there are about 20 bunk hostel type accommodations available for like €20 a night at each of the locations. Sleeping in the cricket pavilion in Scotland, sleeping in the hostel in Spain, sleeping on mattresses in the yoga studio in France. There's about 8 to 10 beds available in the huts in Wiston, and a few people sleeping in vans. So if you want the hosteling accommodation, you need to reach out because that's all that's available now. There's no rooms left in the houses or barns because the teams are full. Yeah, do get your tickets, Next week, I'm speaking at UCL's opening week. The title of the talk is Getting Creative with Academics. What's the point of university? So I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Also, I appreciate the response to last week's video where I referred to having a bit of a tricky time with mental health. The videos don't get many views these days, which is fine. There are only a couple of thousand views or something. But when there's 60, 70 quality comments from you guys from all over the world, sharing real thoughts, real feelings, it makes it worth it. It's quality over quantity. So don't need to go and watch the video, but go back and look at the comments from last week's video. I've really enjoyed reading them and watching people being vulnerable and honest. So thanks for that. I think it's a good thing. Take care of yourselves, look after each other. I'll see you probably next Thursday. Actually, seeing this today is all about getting back on the public speaking bandwagon. I'm going to link in the talk that's on Vimeo, my first UCL opening speech, where I talk about the frameworks and how we can think about how we think in our frameworks of life using a little guitar. And I'm going to leave you with, embedded in this video now, a clip of the last time that Tom Copson and I collaborated on stage at Thinking Digital conference in Newcastle. I was driving along like this in San Francisco and his song Moments inspired me. He agreed to collaborate with me, helped me write the talk, and then we left the conference with this, and I will leave you with it, and I'll see you next Thursday. Take care.
Guard your spare moments. They are like uncut diamonds. Discard them and their value will never be known. Improve them and they will become the brightest gems in a useful future. So there's always been value in moments. We know that. We experience them every day and love them. But the difference is now, if we get involved in this free social web business world, then whether we're a creator or a consumer, we're a part of that ecosystem, that ecology. We are in the business of moments. And the issue really is, who do we want to share those moments with? And how do we want to be treated in those moments? And I don't think fundamentally you can create moments or produce them on a factory line, but you can create space for moments to occur. And I would like to invite you into a space that resonated with me deeply when I was driving in my car back down to San Francisco, and see if it resonates with you in a similar way to how it did with me. And if you do get value out of this space, then you've got a few options with it, right? You can kind of ignore it and carry on typing away on your phone or on your emails or whatever. You can be reminded of a special moment you shared with a loved one and send them a little text quickly and tell them that you're thinking of them. You can get some content, some guys are, grab it, share it on Facebook or Twitter, and share that value with your wider world and with the platforms through which you're uploading the content, feeding their economy of eyeballs. Or you could shut your eyes altogether. Maybe look a bit silly, but you could shut your eyes altogether and try and absorb every inch of value in this space for yourself right now. But it's your moment, so you get to do with it what you want. That's the cool thing. I just wanted to let you know that everybody else values your moment so deeply. You better flipping well value it yourself too.
And the moments that you live for, where are they now? Where are they now? Who can remember? Do you remember? Where are they now? Where are they? I told you patiently, we waited for one more day, like any other day. You know you'll find a way. Are you waiting? Are you waiting? Oh, in the moments that you live for, where are they now? Where are they now? And do you remember? Who can remember? Where are they now? Where are they now? Where are they? Oh, where are they? Oh, where are they? Where are the moments, these moments we live for, these moments we sacrifice everything for? And the moments that you live for, where are they now? Where are they now? And do you remember? Who can remember? Where are they now? Where are they now? Where are they?
Thank you. Thanks, Tom. Good.